Hey, welcome to Spitter's Wild Beer Review. I am Shagdog.
I'm Jammer fan, just kind of hanging out for the night.
That's right, Jammer fan. And I'm doing Venom Indian Pale Ale by DuClaw Brewing Company.
All right, I got Hell or High Water, 21st Amendment Brewing Company, wheat beer brewed with watermelon. We can see the Statue of Liberty just hanging out there.
Statue of Liberty with the Golden Gate Bridge for some reason.
Because it's brewed in California.
Yeah. They're going to move the Statue of Liberty out there.
Those bastards probably will try, right? Fucking California.
DuClaw Brewing Company, Baltimore, Maryland. And your beer is, you know any info about it or?
Yeah, 78 on Beer Advocate. And we are looking at 21st Amendment Brewing out of California. It doesn't say the exact city, but I think on the can it says, let me look, San Leonardo, California, if you want to know exactly where it is. It's 4.9% and 17 IBU. So, right about 5 and then the 17 IBU. The malts used are Golden Promise, Wheat, and Two-Row, and then they're using Hallertau hops for the hopping. This is not a hoppy beer, but that's just, in order to call it beer, they have to use some kind of hop. So that's just kind of like, they're kind of making a standard wheat beer, and then they're putting the watermelon in.
I can't read the month. Something. It looks like March 7th, 2021. I've been sitting in that liquor store for a long time, huh?
Mine was born on May 1st, 21, so we're sitting at about 6 months for mine. But I did get it for $5.99 a six-pack. It's been on sale at my local bottle shop. And let's face it, a wheat beer is probably going to age a little more gracefully than an IPA because of the hop fade and stuff. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and Beer Advocate, of course, with yours says it's a fruit and field beer, but it's a wheat ale, though, right? I just hate.
It says a wheat ale on the can. A fruit and field beer is probably, more representative of the actual style. But yeah,
right.
There's not really a style for a sessionable wheat beer with fruit in it. So call it what you will.
Yeah, this one looks, it's a little, cloudy, but I could almost see through it. And I retained a little tiny half a pinky head on there since I poured it. But the head is kind of an off-white. Looks pretty good, though.
Cool. Yeah, and mine, this is a hazy gold. It's a little bit hard to, I can see a tiny bit through it on the camera. It just looks totally opaque. Initially, it was a 3-finger head that's faded to a craggy kind of, I guess I'd call it like a memory foam, fluffy, pillowy head that's about a little more head retention than yours, but that's expected for like a lower ABV, kind of like something that's heavy on grains and stuff. So yeah, golden with a nice head.
A little bit of pininess, citry, typical IPA stuff, I think is this considered a West Coast IPA, or was that something else I had the other day?
It looks like a West Coast because of the color. It's that, the hazy IPAs are all like, the hazy IPAs kind of look like that, honestly. They're the more, yellowy, kind of golden, kind of like yellowy pale color.
Yeah, it smells good, though.
Nice. Mine on the smell, it's honestly like shortbread cookies, French bread, and then watermelon, like in that order. Starts off bready, and then on your nose, you at the end of the smell, you kind of get that hint of watermelon in there.
Yeah, Jammer always say I'm more concerned about drinking than reviewing a beer, so I'm ready to drink. I'm gonna start doing this too. Like, I'm ready to drink.
You need to drink. They call that T-Rex in it. You're T-Rexing because the T-Rex has his arms right here. You're T-Rexing.
I was thinking of a certain show, and I guess people that are maybe a little bit on the Asperger scale or something. Yeah. I don't think, but I've seen some people do that, but not. But I saw somebody on a TV show doing it, so I got it down now. I'm like, oh yeah, I start talking and start twitching. Oh, I don't know. Okay, we'll edit that part out later. All right, so I'm ready to drink it. Yeah, IPA. As everyone knows, I'm not the biggest IPA fan. A little hoppy. Not. I've had hoppier
Yeah.
IPAs, but it's a little more hoppy than I like. I don't doesn't say the IBUs on there. I don't think. Uh, Probably does in a
It's
small print.
probably like 60 to 80 if it's a what's the ABV again? Seven something?
6.5.
Oh, 6.5. Okay, so yeah, it's probably like it's probably like 60,
Yeah.
70 IBU if it's following the classic kind of formula.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely the grapefruit, maybe a little bit of caramel in there or caramel,
Yeah.
um, maltiness in there, citrusy, but not overwhelming. The piney hoppy is a little bit high, but everything else is kind of moderate. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad, Jammer fan. What do you got on yours? My head's getting cut off.
Um yeah, no, it's all good. So it's the opposite of the well, I just tasted a second ago, but the nose, like I said, is bread, then watermelon. The taste is watermelon, a tiny hop zinginess, and then you get that wheat finish. So up front on the palate, the mouth feel is it's like medium. So it's surprisingly heavy for like 4.9%. But they do use the golden promise. They use wheat. They use churro. It's unfiltered. So I guess you're gonna have some body. It's not like a stout, like a big stout, but heavy body, chewy kind of body for a 4.9.
Wow.
The carbonation is medium, but there's a nice tingliness. So I appreciate that there's a spritzy tingliness across the palate and tongue that sort of enhances that watermelon.
Yeah.
Um, it's a good balance between fresh watermelon and the candied Jolly Rancher flavor that a lot of watermelon beers have. So I like it. I love watermelon Jolly Ranchers. I was a pretty fat kid. I'm not necessarily a skinny kid now, but I was a really fat kid and I loved watermelon Jolly Ranchers. And this is like, and now if someone's trying to eat healthier, I like just watermelon, just like out the melon.
Yeah.
So this is like got both flavors. It has the vegetal, like we said, it's a fruit and field beer, so I can taste that. They don't use any artificial stuff. They just use fresh watermelon. But at the same time, I do like that it does have a little bit of like, and maybe that's the wheat sweetness, kind of combining with the watermelon flavor to kind of
Right.
give it, that kind of like candied flavor. And there's just enough carbonation to kind of dissipate it on the tongue as you're finishing your sip.
Right. And some wheat ales have that like bubblegum banana taste to it or whatever.
Yeah,
So
and
that mix with the
I think it's
watermelon might help. Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah. There is a slight. Now that you mentioned that, Shag, there is a slight bubble gum in there. It's very light, and I think the watermelon, like I don't know, it's almost like watermelon gum. I remember they had this juice-alicious watermelon gum in the '90s that you could have. It was
Ooh.
like a watermelon flavored gum, and this kind of tastes like a bubble
Was
gum.
that blue and it was green in the center or something? The gum itself
Yeah,
is
they also had watermelon fruit by the foot. It was that gum that came in like it looked like a I don't
measuring
know, like
tape.
a measuring tape or a tape dispenser of like gum. They had a
Yeah.
watermelon flavor of that was also pretty close to this. So it's a good call,
Yeah.
man. Good call on the gum.
Yeah. I don't know if that was Bubblicious that made a watermelon gum like that too, or
I think
Fruitalicious,
so. Yeah, I
Bubblicious.
remember, like you said, that blue or green in the middle. It was like a pink gum with like a green center, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And you bit into it. It was like a syrupy kind of green in the middle.
Remember when we were kids? I don't know about you, but back in my child days, I was like a gum expert. Oh, Bubblicious and Bubble Yum,
Yeah.
and you got Bazooka, and you get. But nowadays, I don't even know if they have new gum or not.
You probably remember candy cigarettes then because I think they were gum, but you could kind of puff on them and they were covered in powdered sugar.
A lot of them were chewable. They
Oh, okay.
weren't they weren't gum. They just like
Okay.
sugar stick candies. Yeah.
Nice. Right.
Right.
So, all right, man. So back to you, Shagdog. So now we've done the presentation, the look, the aroma, the flavor. So now it's time to give a review and your thoughts on this guy, man.
I'm not a big IPA fan, but this one's kind of mellow in my spectrum. My hop spectrum that I have is like about that 60 range. Anything over 60 is just too much for me. So, for what it is, easy drinking IPA, not a little hoppy, probably too hoppy for beginning craft drinkers or whatever. But
Yeah.
For the ones that are kind of iffy on IPAs, don't like the
Yeah.
hoppiness, you might be okay with this one. It is a little hoppy, but not overbearing hoppy. So I'm
Yeah.
going to give it for what it is, a B plus and a Schwarter, or swallow and a quarter.
A Schwarter. All right. B plus and a Schwarter. All right. So yeah, mine, again, I've kind of talked about the flavor and stuff. I'll dip into it again just to kind of give a final appraisal here. I am using an 18-ounce dimpled Stein. It's from Big Beaver Brewing Company in Loveland, Colorado, and their slogan is "Bout Got Her Licked." And I don't know if you can see that beaver and kind of see the shape it's in, but it's a little innuendo there.
Look like the beaver was bent over or something.
That's actually, it's got a little mohawk on the top, and then it's got its tongue sticking out. It's kind of supposed to be a lady part.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Big Beaver,
Like
but I don't want to offend our viewers at home or on YouTube. Or YouTube itself, the magical robot that controls YouTube. We're all good here, man.
Who's behind the curtain?
Yeah, who's behind the curtain? But this is what's weird about dimpled Stein. So if every one I've ever had, if I put my finger on side of the glass, my thumb there, it's not actually dimpled on the inside. So I don't think it really does anything special other than just look kind of like an Oktoberfest glass. I kind of wish there was a curvature on the inside of the glass and it somehow would affect,
They call it a dimple Stein?
Because it's got the if you look at it, it's got the dimple. See those like that shape? Yeah.
I would think more of a honeycomb or beehive Stein.
That would make sense. It's actually a Bavarian tradition. They call it a dimpled Stein. It's a
okay.
This is a limited edition glass I got from Big Beaver. Anytime I take this in, so it's 18 ounce. Anytime I take this in, they'll give me an 18-ounce fill for the same as the 16 ounce for life. So I get a free 2 ounces of beer every time I get a beer. And also it qualifies for Wednesday, buy one, get one free. You have to have this glass. And then they're still giving you 18 ounces each on the buy one, get one free. So anyway, I don't want to give you too much trouble in editing. So just wanted to present my glassware. It's got a big opening. This is a big Stein glass, so you can really put your face in it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, do you remember those chess cookies? They're the Milano cookies. They come in that little white bag at the store. They're fancy cookies. They have chessmen, and they had little chocolate. Basically, it's kind of like the Milano cookies. Like they had like macadamia nut. They're on those fancy little white bags.
Mm-hmm. I never had them.
They have one called chessmen, and they're little chess pieces that are imprinted on these rectangular cubes. And it's a shortbread. It's kind of like an English-style shortbread where you kind of get like a sweet wheat and vanilla kind of flavor. So it smells like that with the tiny bubble gum and watermelon background. Just took a big swig. If you take a big swig of it and just really kind of chug it down, it's just that bubblicious, that watermelon bubble gum with the green stuff in the middle. I'm going to go 80 in a Schwarter. 80 in a Schwarter. My only, I guess the only bad thing I will say about this is that I think you could only have one or two before it started to get really old.
Yeah.
Fast.
So you don't, a B.
Yeah, 80's just like a B, like a low B range. It's not like I'm not going to see this beer is not a C. There's no adjuncts in it. There's no off flavors. But if you think about it, how many beers could you really drink in a row that taste like watermelon bubblegum, right?
Right. Unless it's really light and watery, where it's a refreshing water.
And it's not
Watermelon.
light and watery.
Yeah.
But if you drink it really cold, I will say this beer ice cold's a little bit more refreshing. And the hotter it is, the more you could probably drink. So I think it's one of those beers that like it's like trying to drink a Miller Lite in the dead of winter. You know, you're like it's like you're super cold, you're not really thirsty, and you're sitting there trying to like that's kind of when you want something that's a higher ABV because you don't want a lot of liquid. I was actually supposed to go to a concert tonight with my girlfriend, but I got a foot injury a couple days ago, and my foot like ballooned up, man. Like I went on a 12-mile hike, like which is probably overdoing it because I'm trying to get in better shape. I've been eating better. I've been working out. So I went on this really long hike. I mean, it was like 6 hours. Like, I mean, I tracked it on my phone, 11.5, 12 miles, something like that. And when I got home, my foot hurt, and I pulled my foot out of my shoe, and my right foot, dude, it was all fucking like swollen, like right, like kind of like around the arch and the heel, and it was just.
Wow.
And then I look up online, and they're saying it's like plantar fasciitis or whatever, you know, that like thing you can get.
Yeah.
And like I'm just, you know, I'm 39, so I haven't really had a lot of old people problems yet. So this was like my first ever venture into like you're fucking old. You can't just go hike 12 miles without stretching and being a fat ass and not get all fucked up. So yeah, I like, you know, so this concert tonight was going to be 5 to 6 hours probably of standing, of just being out. And I was like, my foot still is all fucking swollen up, dude. I've been icing it, elevating it.
Beer's not going to help that.
It won't.
I mean, at the moment it might, but tomorrow morning it might be worse.
Yeah, I've heard it's not necessarily good for inflammation, but oh well, I'll take some ibuprofen in the morning.
Well, you're young. You might recover quick.
The swelling's already gone down by 50%, but not enough. I had to make that harsh judgment call today of like, you know, I just don't think I could do like fucking 4 or 5 hours on my feet. And we were going to have to actually walk to the venue. We were going to have to park a mile away and then walk in. Wow. So, I mean, it was going to be like a lot of like, you know, and I'm just like, shit, I don't even have any crutches or a little boot or anything. I was just going to have to just like tough that shit out, dude. And I was like, I don't know. Luckily, she was able to sell the ticket that I had. And so everything's all good. It's all cool. Like, it's her favorite band of all time, and it's their last show in Colorado. So I wanted to. It's an indie rock band called Dr. Dog. They're, unless you know them, you probably won't have heard of them. But because it's her favorite band, I've gotten to know it. And even though I'm not like huge into indie rock, it's definitely a cool band. I was looking forward to going, but to add insult to injury, today I woke up sneezing like a mofo and even having like a little bit of like light cold symptoms. So I was like, oh God. Yeah, it's just, man, I just want this to be over, dude. Shagdog, just make it stop, man.
I
just
wish.
Make it stop,
I mean, dude. I should, because they say life is an illusion. I mean, you might be part of my illusion.
Yeah, maybe I am. Well, here's a part of your illusion. The big story on Biden today, I don't know if you've heard this. I saw it on Newsmax and Fox. They're usually the first to break the negative news. And I take it with a grain of salt. Like, you know me, man, I'm not super left. I'm not super right. I'm kind of in the middle. So I kind of just stick my dick in each side a little bit, just dabble around, you know?
Right.
But the big story today is that Biden ripped a huge fart. I'm talking like a beefy, nasty, like Taco John's, Taco Bell, like Mexican food fart in the middle of the climate summit over in Europe or whatever. And there was some duchess of somebody, like some duchess got really upset.
It's the right thing to do.
No, nice, because you got the. Is that Ben Stiller? Are you?
It's supposed to be Biden when he leans forward and he whispers.
Oh,
it's the right thing to do.
So you look like Ben Stiller from Happy Gilmore when he has the mustache and he's in the old folks' home, and he's like abusing the grandma. And Ben Stiller actually reprised that role last year for a Netflix movie called Hubie Halloween, which was made by Adam Sandler. He played. Did you hear about that?
No.
Hubie Halloween. So it's got Kevin James, Adam Sandler, like all the people that are always in all his movies. And it's about this loser in this town who loves Halloween. He gets picked on and stuff. But the beginning of the movie starts in like an insane asylum, and Ben Stiller, he has that mustache and everything, and he's like abusing these. He was abusing old people in Happy Gilmore. Now he's abusing like people in a insane, like Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers people, and he's like, hey, he's like, you want a little rec time tonight? Guess what? I'm taking it away, locking you up. And then the guy like escapes and like kills Ben Stiller or something, and like then he goes and terrorizes his town. It's a shitty movie, but I don't even know if you have Netflix, and we're already past Halloween. But oh well, it might be worth. But you look exactly Ben Stiller. You look exactly like Ben Stiller from Happy Gilmore, and I thought he had a line similar to what you said. That's why I thought it was a reference. But
yeah, oh, okay.
But I can't believe Biden just like ripped huge cheese in front of all these delegates and some Duchess of Yorkshire or something. She was like, oh. Like somebody had to like some like very tainty dainty lady had to leave because Biden was just like making it ripe in there. He was just like he was just like I mean, as much as Fox News likes to spin stuff, they're not just going to do a Biden fart story unless it's like a real story. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's just like then they're just going to get slaughtered in like online comments because they're like making up stories about Biden doing this or whatever. Like, I think that is, my girlfriend's, liberal, and we're talking about Biden. I said, look, I'm not trying to bash Biden, but if you're like 82 years old and don't even have like necessarily all the controls of like your bodily functions, I was like, if we had a 40-year-old president in there, like a young up and coming whippersnapper, I think he could have controlled that. I think he could have waited till he went to the bathroom or something. I don't think he'd just be blowing wind and shitting his fucking pants in front of like everybody in the world. But if you're 80 something, maybe you don't have that kind of control. I guess there's no proof that he actually shit his pants, but I mean, he was just like, dude, like it's like you went to India for the first time farts. Like you eat a bunch of.
I heard
curry.
about it.
Yeah,
but I didn't hear it. I didn't see it, the hearing of it or whatever. But he also fell asleep too. He was down there at that conference, and he's like got his arms crossed and just sleeping away.
And dude, Trump's pretty old too, and he's known for just like destroying the toilets in the White House. He loves McDonald's, and he would just like eat like 8 Filet-O-Fish and just destroy the White House bathroom. But it was on his own time, at least,
Yeah, he likes Filet-O-Fish.
Yeah, he likes, and that's going to lead to some mean farts. But, if you're an old dude slamming down fast food, he just knew that he had to do it at Mar-a-Lago or do it in the White House bathroom. Like, all right, like spit roast it. Yeah, spit roast it. And then if you're really a fucking survivalist, you got to be savage, man. You got to be ready to like eat shit. You got to be ready, dude. Yeah, I mean, I can't sleep during the day.
I hate people. All right, y'all, we're done on this one. Shagdog Spirit Swallow beer review with the Jammer fan, and we'll be back in a few moments with the real Jammer fans, Jammers, thing.
All right, Spitter Swallow beer review. Shagdog is signing off, or this way, or whatever. Somebody's signing off.
All right, we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out, everybody.